Hello all. Let me improve your test scores by giving you some test taking hints, giving you some test taking skills. You won't even have to study, and I can improve your score by 10 to 15%. And that's from some good science research. I used to teach this and follow up, and would do this just before kids had the ACT or SAT, other important tests. And this was the trick. So let me give you 10 tricks, 10 skills, they're not all tricks, to taking a test. Number one. Number one, you need to know how a test is written. Well, obviously, it's not always answer A, but there is a correct answer. And then I think some of you think us teachers just sit around trying to think of wrong answers, but that is not true at all. We actually sit around trying to think of wrong answers that will trick you. Two of them are called distractors because we want to distract your attention. We want to come up with an answer that looks good. Okay? There could actually be three distractors, but there's a fourth type of answer, and we literally do call it this. I don't even let my kids use the word stupid, but we do often call it the stupid answer. Well, the stupid answer isn't elephant. If I ask you a math question, there's not going to be an answer that says the price of tea. There's not going to be an answer that says the color red. It's going to be a number. So what would be a stupid answer? Well, if I'm asking you to multiply 2 times 3, right, the answer is 6. But I might do 2 divided by 3 and get, what would that be, 0.67. Or I might do 3 divided by 2 and get 1.5. And then for a stupid answer, I might just put the answer 2 or just the answer 3, or I might add them. 2 plus 3 is 5. The things that I would not expect anyone to do. This, by the way, is how we know some of you are not taking your test seriously. You often choose the quote-unquote stupid answer as you just go through the test very quickly. So that's test-taking skill number one. We're going to keep getting back to this most important one. Number two, play the numbers. Okay? If you are guessing between 4 answers, 1, 2, 3, and 4, you'd look at a problem and go, that is just too hard. I don't even care. The chances of getting it right are a fourth, or 25%. So let me improve your test score right now. A lot of you listening to this, the very fact that you're listening to this tells me that you care about your test scores and you're trying to improve. You can get rid of the stupid answer. You know when I've added, when I'm supposed to multiply or divide. You see that I just threw a number on there. I was looking at the IA2 for science, and I saw that happen over and over again in USA Test Prep. You can get rid of one of the answers. Well, that's a 1 in 3 chance, and that's 33%. You just improved your test score a little bit. Now that's guessing on the whole test, but on the questions you don't know. Right, here's the magic, right there. You are going to approach questions that you don't know the answer to. Right? You're not sure if you're supposed to multiply or divide in my earlier example. But you know that you're not supposed to put that 3 above the 2. You know you're not ever supposed to put mass on top of force. That force is always on top. You know a little bit more because you've studied. And here is the amazing thing about test taking skills. A 1 in 2 chance, of course, is 50%. And this is why I can, with all confidence, say if you know how a test is written and you play the numbers, that you're going to improve your test score by about 10 to 15%. There's some other things here too to help you out. Okay, it's always best to study hard and get it right the first time. We're actually going to get back to that a little bit later. But this is the magic of number 2. Okay, we're trying to trick you. Play the numbers. Don't just skip a question and say, I don't know. You know enough to know which answers are bad, and you might even know enough to know which 2 answers are bad, and then make an intelligent guess. All right, number 3. I'm not going to write much. There's a thing that for some reason hangs out that C is the answer you should choose if you don't know an answer. That used to be true statistically back before computers were invented. For whatever reason, us teachers would make answers, and we wanted you to read a couple of them, and over again we would make C the correct answer. But this is the age of computers. You guys aren't even all taking the same test all the time, right? Get rid of the stupid answer, get rid of one other one, and then guess. This is not a good rule. None of the above, or all of the above. The ACT and the SAT both say don't choose it. If you don't know the answer, don't choose that. It is only correct 20 to 25% of the time, statistics show. Okay? That often just simply means the teacher could not think of another distractor, another stupid answer, so they put none of the above. I don't even think these belong on tests. You either know something or you don't. Come up with something a little bit better. All right, some of you also have this crazy notion that the longest answer is correct. I don't know about you, but when I lie, when I tell stories, when I fabricate stuff, right, the stupid answer, it often gets lengthy because I don't have a clue what I'm saying. The longest answer is not always correct. Get these 3 rules out of your head. They are no longer true. This one used to be. These have never been true. Number 6. Let's talk a moment about time. We are giving you generally 1 to 2 minutes per question. That's a lot of time. Use your time, right? Use your time. You've got a couple minutes. Read the question. Read the answers and get rid of the stupid answer. Take some time with it. Don't just look at it and go, I don't know, and guess. Take some time with it. You've got a lot of time on tests. Number 7, part of that time is reading the graph. Or table, or picture, with its titles, captions, and keys. Sometimes, especially in social studies and science, we just want to know that you're listening, that you're reading, that you can take in all of the information. So take your time and read this stuff. You've got time anyway, correct? Right, number 8. Don't change your answer. This one is really important. Don't change your answer. I've worked now here at GCA with about 3 or 4 of my A students who are not happy with some C's and B's on tests, and very often it's because of this. They second guess themselves and they decided on another answer. You only change your answer if you're sure. Like you look back at the question and realize, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. And you have a very specific reason to change it because you're now 100% sure. Change your answer, of course, if you know. But if you can't think of a very specific reason, research shows that your first guess, if you're reading and doing these things, your first guess was your best guess, and chances are it's going to be right. Okay? Don't change your answer, please. Number 9 and number 10. Look, I thought I'd remember them, and I don't. I had 10. There's several. Let me think. This is silly. All right. Don't do these anymore. Use your time. Read the charts, and don't change your answer. Oh, there's one of them. Skip answers. And that reminds me of the 10th one. Skip answers. I actually wrote that wrong. Skip questions. Some of you, this is a numbers game. I've told you, some of you, that if you get a 65% to a 75% on all tests, you can do that. Look at these numbers up here. You know half of it. You're going to guess better on more of them, and you're going to get up in the 60s. If you get a 65 to 75% on your tests, and you do all the work that we ask, you're going to have a B in the class, and you are going to be able to pass the end of course test. This is something we see over and over again. Now, Physics 1 is not an end of course test, but your other ones, if you can consistently get in the high 60s and the high 70s on well-written tests, I'm going to add that, on well-written tests, you're going to pass the end of course, and you're going to pass that class. So by all means, you can skip questions. All right, number 10. Can't believe I didn't remember these. Don't skip answers. So you're reading A, B, C, and D, and you get to B, and that looks good. And you choose B, and you never read C and D. That is not good. Okay? So you can skip questions and come back to them. I guess I didn't say that. Come back to them. Get the ones you know first. Get to that grade. Okay? But don't skip answers when you're reading. Okay? You might see a better answer here. These might help you with a further question to get it right. Okay? So these are at the end. Again, just forgot a second. Certainly skip questions. Okay? Make sure you come back to them. Get the points you know to get this sort of grade. You're reading through the entire test. Your test is very often going to give you hints, right? Your test is going to give you hints to other questions, and you'll go back to those and go, oh, yeah, I saw that word in question number 27, so I'm going to come back and do that. All right, y'all. This is probably the most important one. Please know that we're trying to trick you. You out-trick us. I had a student, a valedictorian of a high school, chose me as a star teacher. It was really cool. He would go back and tell me how I had come up with the wrong answers. He would even tell me which ones were stupid. Now, he was in a physics class. I didn't have many stupid answers. I often had 3 distractors. Play the numbers game. At least get rid of the stupid answer and improve your score. And I think y'all are smart enough, especially if you're watching this video, that you're taking this well and you can sneak up to that 50%. You can get more of those questions you're not sure of correct. Don't choose C. Don't choose none of the above. Okay, don't choose the longest answer unless you know that they are correct, because those are not good rules. Take your time, 1 to 2 minutes each. While you're taking that time, read the graphs, tables, pictures, titles, captions, keys. Read everything that you can read. And while you're taking your time and doing the test, don't change your answers unless, again, you're 100% sure you should. And then the last 2 that I kind of flubbed on there, sorry. Skip questions, but don't skip answers. Okay, skip questions, but don't skip answers. You might see something later that helps you, and you're trying to just get some points. So go and gather some points. Don't skip answers. You might see something better, and you might see something that helps. All right. I expect better test grades. Thank you.